Hey, what's up? This is Brian G, the EVOG, and we're going to take a break from all the Fisker noise today so that I can introduce you to Dove, our 2016 Tesla Model X. This is my happy place, the outer Cape Cod. Today is 1 week into spring, believe it or not, and I don't think we got the memo out here because it's 40 degrees and windy. But let's go ahead and get into this so that I can introduce you guys to Dove. All right, so let's start with the exterior spec on Dove. As I said, this is our 2016 Tesla Model X. We actually took delivery of this vehicle on April 21st of 2016. So super early VIN on this. And I guess the first place to start is with her name. Why do we call her Dove? Well, there's two reasons for the name Dove. The first one is the color, right? Dove is a titanium metallic, is what Tesla calls this color. So that's the first reason for the name. The second reason for the name is that Prince died on April 21st of 2016, the same day that we picked up this vehicle. And so the first song that we played on our drive home was When Doves Cry. And so that's how it was given the name Dove. Right, the color, and to pay homage to the great Prince. Now, this vehicle is a fairly standard spec in a lot of ways, but it's pretty unique. Number one, this color did not last long in Tesla's pick list, if you will, of options. So from that standpoint, it's fairly rare. The other thing that you'll notice here is that we've got an active spoiler, even though that this is a 90D. It's not a performance P90D, where back in 2016, the active spoiler was actually reserved for the performance version of the Model X. Somehow our 90D was delivered with an active spoiler. So definitely a unique aspect of our vehicle. The other thing here from a spec standpoint is that we've got the standard 20-inch silver slipstreams on Dove. But I did buy a set of 22-inch black slipstreams, which really makes her look a lot more mean. But I recently sold those, but really love this vehicle. It has an enormous front trunk where I typically will carry my full set of golf clubs up here. Back here, as I get close from a proximity standpoint, you can see that, let me do that again. The spoiler, when I lock it, folds away, right? And as I approach the vehicle from a proximity standpoint, it wakes up and the spoiler raises. Just a cool feature that Tesla no longer offers. The trunk here is quite large in terms of the sub-trunk space. This goes pretty deep down in here from a storage standpoint, and then you've got the shelf that you can use to close it, and you've got a decent amount of room here behind the rear seats, and you can lower these seats to get even more room, right? It's a 50-50 split there. The other thing from an exterior spec standpoint is the fact that from the key fob, I can also open up those falcon wing doors I mean, it's a pretty straightforward vehicle until you do that and open up the Falcon Wing doors, at which point it becomes a bit of a clown show, right? It becomes a scenario where, you know, as we were doing this in the drop-off line at our kids' school, everybody would look, right? You can't be inconspicuous when the vehicle does that. But it also serves as a great little umbrella when it's raining. The other nice thing is the driver's door presents as you approach it, right? So it opens up and actuates on its own, as does the passenger side if I hit the key fob again. So all of the doors are automatic. As you can see, from an interior specification standpoint, we decided to go with a 6-seat configuration, which is kind of a good news, bad news scenario. It makes the third row a lot more usable from the standpoint of having this space in between the two captain's chairs to be able to use for added legroom for passengers in the rear. Let me go ahead and put this seat back up. You just push this button here to release it. It comes up. And now we can come around here. There is one button here that I can push, and it will move that seat forward. It also moves the front passenger seat forward as well. And now it makes ingress, egress pretty simple for folks getting into this third row. Now, with my 6'6" frame, that is a pretty uncomfortable seat for me back there, but an average person can fit there for, you know, relatively short rides. Hit the button here, and that seat goes right back into place. That can also be controlled from the touch screen of this vehicle. No screen in the second row, but we do have a couple of USB-A ports right there, as well as one right here for the third row passengers. Also have air vents on either side here for some comfort. But that's the interior. You can see the back of the driver and front passenger seats are in a, I don't know, I guess we can call that a gloss finish. I don't love that so much. It's kind of a dust magnet, but this vehicle, believe it or not, has 127,800 miles on it, and it still drives wonderfully. In addition to the 6-seat configuration, you can see we've got tan leather, and I don't know if you can see that, but it is perforated. And in the front, well, all 6 seats are heated, but in the front we've got both heated and ventilated seats, and we do have the walnut trim here to accentuate the tan leather. The other nice thing on this interior, matter of fact, it's getting colder and windier, so let me get inside and show you a little bit more. But before I do that, I do want to show you that now that I've got all doors open, the front is the only thing that's not automatic on this vehicle, but with one touch of the key fob, I can close all doors at once. Now she's getting a little older, and it looks like the front passenger door required an additional push of the button there. So let me get in on the interior here, and as you can see, this being a Model X, I've got the driver display, which is configurable on either side of the vehicle there, right? I can go between the car status to trip information, energy, media, and the clock. My preference is to have my energy information there. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And then on the other side, which is also configurable with the same options, over on this side, I like to have my media information there. All right. Now, one of the nice things is when I did have that set of black 22-inch slipstreams, I could program the display to change from those standard 20-inch wheels to the black 22s. That's totally configurable within the vehicle. Nice driver's display. One of the things that I would like to see other manufacturers implement that Tesla's done is this pin to drive. Pin to drive, in my opinion, is a great feature to have, so that, you know, if someone gains access to the key of your vehicle, you still have a level of protection here in place, such that the vehicle will not work unless they have access to the pin number there, right? So just an added level of security there with this vehicle. As I mentioned earlier, I've got the wood trim here, tons of storage down in here, along with cup holders, and all of this still works very well. This is something that I've added here as a bit of a drawer that you can use to store. That's where I keep my registration and other papers that I need in the vehicle. It does have a glove box here. It's one of only 2 buttons in the vehicle, one for the glove box, which also, as you can see, we've got it set requiring a PIN number, right? So you don't just have free access to this. You need to know the PIN number in order to get into the glove box. And then the other button that's required by law is the hazard light there. Vehicle does have air vents, unlike newer Teslas where and these are manually controllable. You can change the direction of the airflow. Now Tesla has moved that into the display, as I'm sure many of you are already aware. But I mean, this is a vehicle that is 8 years old next month, and you can see, I mean, we drive this thing, right? We typically would do multiple trips, I'd say between 5 and 7 trips from Maryland to Cape Cod every year, right? That's 515 miles each way, and this thing is just held up beautifully. Another nice aspect of this spec is that, and this was a deal breaker for me, I absolutely wanted to have black headliner, the Alcantara headliner. And you'll notice that, you know, one of the nice things about the Model X is the fact that the windshield goes from the front here all the way up above my head back here, right? So the visibility in this thing is absolutely amazing. Part of why I like this spot for sunset is I can sit up here in the comfort of my vehicle, listening to my tunes and just watching the sunset over Provincetown over there. The other thing beyond the headrest is the fact that this does have Alcantara on the dash, right? That is not something that Tesla offers anymore, even in Model X vehicles. I see that they brought it back with the Cybertruck, and it's just a really nice option that they took away there that I really enjoy. So in terms of wear and tear, again, really, we've got a little bit of creasing going on there. And outside of that, you know, I've got a little bit of wear and tear on the leather of the armrest, but that's essentially it. Everything else in here is pretty well maintained. Now, one of the other unique features of this Model X is the fact that the headrest of the seat, the driver and front passenger, that's actually adjustable. This will move up and down, so I can actually adjust that. It also has lumbar adjustments, right? And if I push this again, you can see I can toggle between adjustments for the headrest or lumbar. Depending on what I want to do here, I can adjust either one of those two things. I'm not sure they offer anymore in terms of a movable headrest. One of the things that we did in February of 2022 is when we replaced the touchscreen and the MCU chip, main control unit here. Since everything in the vehicle is controlled from here essentially, and you interact with this every time you get into the vehicle, we made the decision to go ahead and upgrade this. It was about a $1,500 upgrade, not about it, that's the exact price that Tesla charged us. But they installed a new touchscreen as well as a new chip, which makes this super responsive. This vehicle is one of those that does have a web browser. I haven't used this in forever, so it's probably going to take a little bit of time to load, but you do have the ability to, you know, use a web browser within the vehicle, in addition to the ability to go into the theater, and you've got 6 different options there for watching video streaming options. Another enhancement or modification that you might say we added were these maps, right? This area is full of sand since we're near the beach, and we wanted to protect the carpeting. We've actually got those on top of a set of diamond mats which go up along the edges. So that's an enhancement that helps to preserve the interior. This is where Charlotte likes to ride, and you can see there it goes up and protects. This puppy is pretty stock. I did get a larger mirror to go over the smaller one that comes with the vehicle, just so I've got some more real estate there to see out the back. But that is Dove. Great pocket size there for stuff in the driver as well as front passenger seat. Another thing I wanted to point out back here is the fact that this vehicle is rated to tow up to 5,000 pounds when configured with standard 20-inch silver slipstream wheels. And you'll also notice that this does not have the cameras either on the B-pillar or here in this spot as newer models do. But we do have the camera stack up here in the front. There is no front camera down here, and of course we've got our camera in the back. But again, absolutely love this vehicle. Prior to taking delivery of Valkyrie, our 2023 Rivian R1T. This was the best EV we've ever owned. I got no qualms saying that the Rivian R1T has surpassed it. There she is over there, Valkyrie. Has absolutely surpassed it as our best EV. But in the next video, I will share with you why Valkyrie is the best EV. In 8 years since owning Dove, we've had 4 service appointments for which we had to pay out of pocket. The first was in October 2019, 30,000 miles after we were out of warranty. We paid $735 for a new 12-volt battery, HEPA filter replacement, and a few other smaller things. February of 22, we paid $1,500 to upgrade to a new MCU and touchscreen. February of 23, it was $2,400 at 121,000 miles. We replaced the front suspension, front brake pads and rotors, another HEPA filter, a seal, and 1 or 2 other smaller things. And then finally, last October, $245 at 126,000 miles to replace the 12-volt battery, high voltage battery fuse, and a few other things. Okay, so that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this introduction to our 2016 Tesla Model X. Please like, subscribe, share the video, comment with any questions that you might have, and tune in for the next one when I introduce you to Valkyrie, our 2023 Rivian R1T. We'll see you on the next one.